My speech. Born and raised in Hawaii, attended college at California State University in California, moved to Maui, and I was so poor that the home I lived in Pakukau only had screen doors and screen windows. I joined the Parks Department where we started and worked with the after-school programs, and while I was there, we actually started a program at Sacred Heart School at lunchtime, which was my first taste of going above and beyond the job. But it was the right thing to do, even though it meant we had to come in early and do it. Became a police officer, where I met this beautiful lady. Her mom and dad, Kalua and Annette, just Kaiahua, accepted me into the family right away. Kalua was one of the greatest men I'd ever known. He was a Hawaiian healer. And the first time he met me and I shook his hand, he looked at me and he said, "Boy, you're a little bit kolohe." He's still right. Transferred to the fire department where I became a captain in 8.5 years. This still may be the record for time in service and becoming a captain. Joined the first rescue team, started the first hazardous materials team, computerized the fire stations, wrote dispatch alarm assignments, and graduated from the National Fire Academy as an executive fire officer. All of this is nice, but as you look around in government today, business, education, or whatever organization, what seems to be the problem? I think I have the answer. The answer is leadership. Okay? Are you born a leader? The answer is, I don't think so. Can you read and become a leader? I don't think that works either. Does authority, being the boss, make you a leader? No. Here's my path of learning about leadership. In the police department, I learned about courage from my sergeants and fellow police officers. Many times you responded by yourself without nearby backup. Here are some examples of my fellow officers' courage. Watched a fellow officer run to a front door when we knew our men were in the house waiting for us. And of course, he zigzagged across the lawn to the front door, and I'm hiding behind the police car's door, and I'm thinking to myself, oh boy, now I gotta go zigzag across the lawn. He was the courage one. He's the one with the most courage. I was scared as hell running across that lawn. We fought in the streets to protect the public, being outnumbered, making sure your gun was never taken, because if they took your gun, they were going to shoot you and your fellow officer. Walked into the house of a known felon, not knowing if today was the day you were going to be shot. I learned courage from the examples of the police officer who showed me how to do my job, and they were great officers. At the fire department, I learned all kinds of skills. CPR, rescue, hazardous materials, firefighting, but it was a little different. It was a team effort. Skills were part of everything, but I wanted to make sure I had the proper knowledge to become a leader. So I earned a bachelor's degree in public fire administration and a master's degree in higher education from the University of Hawaii. The fire department was about getting everybody to work together. Our calls include flying a helicopter through heavy rain by the tops of the trees without radio communications. The pilot was actually leaning out the side of the helicopter looking at the trees. Launching our rescue boat in such heavy surf that even the Coast Guard would not go out. With Hana firefighters pushing away a propane cloud so large it filled an entire valley. The firefighters did not show fear, but I'm a great reader of body language, and I remember watching them and seeing them pray to themselves that they would return. This was team leadership. My personal fear was not bringing back my personnel to their families. Though I had the authority as the captain, my personnel trusted my decisions, and that to me was more important than the authority. The problem was I couldn't get the administration to acknowledge my leadership. What was missing? I went to Maui election. Surely they had the answer. Certainly I could learn about leadership at a corporate utility company. Here is what I learned. I was told I could not help the company. I was not raised in a company. I knew nothing about electricity. I was an outsider. Well, I learned something I think was crucial. I learned how to listen. Because I had to. I didn't have any background, so I had to just shut up and listen. And you know what? That's a hard trait to learn. It took me 55 years to figure that one out. The other trait I learned is women are smart. and I'm not saying this, in any kind of slight, because in the police department, when I was in, there weren't a lot of women. And in the fire department, there weren't a lot of women. All of a sudden, at Maui Electric, my boss was a woman. Most of my co-workers were women. And I learned right away, you better have your act together, or you're going to pay the price. These ladies were sharp, and they held you accountable. And I had to pay attention to detail. So the learning curve was tremendous. So I thought I was ready. I'm ready to be a leader. I had knowledge, courage, teamwork, listening ability. Was I now a leader? The answer was yes, but not a great leader. Something was still missing. On to starting our own business with my wife. Here I learned probably the most important lesson. Yes, I had the authority, the skills, the knowledge, but have you ever ordered your wife to do something?
Oh, hell no.
What will happen? She'll tell you no. So in our business, I learned the last piece of the puzzle. That puzzle was collaboration. That working together as a team, listening to each other, we have been very successful. She is the owner of the business, and she can fire me at the annual stockholders meeting. She hasn't yet. So, to me, I am now ready. I've been through it. I've worked at it. And it was a tough road, because in just one organization, it wouldn't have bought the ticket for me. So today, at 60 years old, I want to be a leader. This is the quality I will bring to my role on the county council. Joe would go, but not without you. I cannot finish this alone. So on August 11th, 2012, please vote Blackburn. The first name on the ballot, on the back, for the Wailuku, Waihe'e, and Waikapu district. The saying now is not Joe would go, it's go with Joe. I need your support. Thank you.